Christian, hey, congratulations for Section 8.
Thanks, dude. Thanks.
Another action film under your belt. Tell us what's different this time around now for yourself.
I think Section 8, we had, an incredible stacked cast, an amazing dedicated lead that people aren't going to see coming, and definitely a little bit more toys and time that I had to play with to give a little more scope to this kind of genre for myself.
Most excellent. And in this case, because of the fact that it is a higher budget, what did you have to do differently or adjust?
Actually, what's interesting is what I have to do differently is go, oh, okay, I can do that. Whereas normally I'd be like, man, how are we going to think our way out of this obstacle? I think you just are able to do what you always kind of naturally want to do. And then, sometimes, budget time or schedules kind of restrict you. But there definitely was a little bit more of all those. I mean, not much, but definitely a little bit, enough that I think we added some scope to this kind of indie action genre.
Tell me about the lure of action films for yourself, because I want to say a majority of your films is either action or thriller.
Yeah.
And this one had a lot of twists and turns into it.
Yeah, I think the allure for this one in particular was making a very, like I said before, like a very John McClane driven style indie actioner. It's like you have this espionage, all this crazy action, political stuff with the scope, like the world of this kind of Jason Bourne, Ethan Hunt style thing. But then the lead, the star isn't, it isn't that kind of guy. It's not some, crazy superhero guy. It's really just an average military vet, paying his bills, has a family, has a wife, has a kid, just trying to live a regular life. And then he gets thrown into this world, which I thought was interesting for this story, and something that I could really kind of latch onto and really dig out the family element and the human element. And when we just see like an everyman go on this journey, as opposed to, Rambo. I love Rambo. Don't get me wrong. I love all those, but it definitely was a more kind of John McClane style flick where you have an everyday regular dude, just like John McClane was a cop, thrown into this fantastic old situation.
Well, even though I know you love Rambo and so on,
I do.
I love your hand-to-hand combat scenes in this film. Especially the fact that I was actually much more amazed, because your hand-to-hand combat scenes this time around is in like very close quarters. Like it's not like, like wide open spaces and so on. Tell us about your choreography and managing to pull all this off.
Well, thank God I have a buddy of mine who let us use his house. So, for a lot of this stuff, we were able to use, we shot in my hometown, the Coachella Valley in California, the Palm Springs area. And, we needed kind of a perfect layout to do a house fight. And I think that was something I just was like, wait, Scott Adkins, and we have to do this crazy end house fight scene. And it just ended up being great choreography. The stunt coordinator, fight coordinator, and Scott, they all managed to choreograph something really cool and visceral and real. And then we had a great kind of open space home that we could kind of move around and do, we always call it just the house fight. You got to do a house fight. And I think it's a great ending. So.
And I know there was I want to mention the other hand-to-hand was in the mechanics thing.
Yeah.
That could have gone wrong pretty quickly.
Yeah, that was, what we try to do is differentiate these fighting styles, right? So you had, we definitely left the Scott Adkins more slick version for the end, and then just kind of this brutal beating in the middle, for the garage fight. So we had a lot of fun with that, and just kind of try to make it messy and real,
Which do you enjoy coordinating more, these hand-to-hands or these gunfights?
Well, I think it's interesting. It's because there's two different things. It's like, I think shooting a hand-to-hand fight is a little bit more tedious and detail-oriented. So, but the end result Am I frozen? There we go.
Yeah.
But then the gun battles are actually more fun to shoot in person when you're using actual like live blanks and explosions and stuff like that. So it's more fun to do the gun battles when you're there because it's loud and cool, and you know you're like a kid in a candy store, like a fireworks shop. But I think they're two different things. So I think I would probably say the hand-to-hand fights are still more rewarding for me.
Most excellent. And let me wrap it up with this, because I've seen your previous films, and I know you love your Palm Springs, Coachella Valley area. Tell us what's next for filmmaking in that area for you.
Well, I don't know. I don't have anything set there for the next year. I mean, it's just I was lucky to be able to bring these movies back there. I mean, I'm currently in a hotel in Birmingham, Alabama right now with on another movie with Scott Adkins and Jamie King. We're here now. We're hoping to get this off the blocks, and then I'm kind of in the South shooting the next 2 action pictures, and well, 2 of them are thrillers, action thrillers. But yeah, so. It'd be nice to go shoot back home again. It's always nice, and that's where I'm able to really get a little bit more freedom with a little bit less red tape, and they really support me as a filmmaker, and it's kind of one of their own, obviously, because I am. So I could do a lot there. It's kind of like how Robert Rodriguez has Austin. Kind of I have like I'm starting to have it that way. So.
Most excellent. Well, I can't wait to speak to you again, Christian, on your next project. I believe if I talk to you one more time, I have to form a fan club for you.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Super excited. Big fan of the site, as you know. So thanks so much for supporting again, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, let's do that. Thank you.
Bye.